It's my great pleasure to welcome onto SAFM Sports Special the brand new Bafana coach, Gordon Igesund. Gordon, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Nick. How are you doing?
Very well. My big question to you is, how are you feeling, Gordon?
No, I'm feeling great, Nick. It's been a pressing couple of days. I've only been in for a week now, and a lot of work to be done and lots of I's and T's to be crossed, but we're getting there.
Well, that's good to hear. I personally kind of see you as the saviour Bafana has been waiting for many a year. But it's not going to be easy. Let's just be honest about that. SAFA has set out a very stringent mandate for you, saying that you need to get to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations next year and have us qualified for the World Cup in 2014. Gordon, are you feeling the pressure?
Not really, no. I think, Nick, first of all, let me just say we're under no illusions on the difficult task that lay ahead. But together I believe that we can do this, We've got everybody supporting the team, getting the players in the right frame of mind, and together if we really pull towards one thing, we can do this. It is achievable. It is a tough task, but while it's achievable, there is a possibility. And, I wouldn't have taken on this huge task if there wasn't a possibility, but I believe there is, and I'm very positive about the outcome.
Gordon, would you agree? This is a position that you've deserved for quite some time. I mean, many as a South African soccer fan argue that you should have been there a decade ago.
Well, I don't think I want to agree with you. I just think for me, it's a great honour, a great privilege, to coach the national team. It's a great asset of South African football, the nation. And as I said, together, if we really pull towards one thing, we can get there. It takes a lot of people to do this. I need to surround myself with good people, and I'm so surprised and pleasantly surprised about the support that we're getting at the moment, So everybody looks like they're doing the right thing and pulling towards the right areas. So let's hope that we can just follow it through.
Well, you talk about support, Gordon, and I've always been of the opinion that Bafana is it's like a fairy tale. If you don't believe in them, they don't exist. And I think the best thing any South African can do at this point is get behind the team, and more importantly, get behind you.
I think that's very important, but I also think that everybody needs to feel part of the national team. I think previously, without sounding like I'm criticising, but I think the Bafana team was just all on its own. They never really had the support of people, and maybe that's because we never embraced the people around us. We need to embrace the people. We need to embrace the clubs in our league. Every team, all 16 of them, need to feel part of it. We need to talk to them. We need to talk to the players. We need to make plans and negotiate with them, and not only in the Premier League, but in National First Division as well. And once these teams start feeling part of the national team, they're going to want to automatically assist where they can assist. And it's always been a big problem, as you know, club versus country, when you want to release the players. I think the club sometimes had an attitude of, well, you don't embrace us, you don't talk to us, we never hear from anybody, and now you want our players, And they've been a little bit negative in that respect. I think it's important we build bridges, we communicate a lot, and we embrace them around us, and we need them to feel part of the setup.
Gordon, going forward, what do you think is the best strategy for Bafana? You've been renowned for the fact that you get the most out of any team that is put before you. But when it comes to Bafana, what is the best strategy? Are we going to sort of build a foundation for the future based on a lot of the players that have a tremendous amount of experience in the yellow of Bafana? Or are you going to be going straight out looking for some new blood, looking for a new way forward for the Bafana side?
Well, I haven't really got the time for all that at the moment. I mean, my mandate is very clear. Get to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations and qualify us for the World Cup. But I think what we really need to do is to identify a style of football that suits us. I think sometimes we're trying to adapt certain countries' philosophies, for example, Brazil. Now, we know how Brazil plays. Brazil plays without wingers. They play with two full-backs. But we haven't got those type of full-backs. We haven't got a Roberto Carlos going up and down the line with the stamina and, being a wing-back. So we haven't got that type of players. We're trying to get players to play like that. I think we need to identify our own style, which in my opinion is very attacking football, playing with width, playing having an African flair about it, playing very attacking football and going forward and trying to score goals and creating situations, not playing counter-attack football. I think counter-attack football is only when you feel superior to the team that you played and you think they're much stronger than you, and then you'll go out there, play very defensive and try and get one or two counter-attacks in the game and score a goal. I think we need to take the game to teams. We need to go at them and create situations, because that's the strength of South African football players. They like to go forward. They've got so much ability. They've got so much skill going forward. So let's not change that. Let's enhance it. Let's encourage them to do that.
All right, if you've just joined us, we've been chatting to Gordon Igesund, the brand new Bafana coach. He joins us on SAFM Sports Special today. We have time for one or two calls, and also send us your SMSs here, 0891 104 207. That's 0891 104 207. Give us a call now if you want to direct any questions directly to Gordon Igesund. Otherwise, you drop us an SMS. It'll only cost you R2 on 34701. So, Gordon, you say you're not under any illusions of the task that lays ahead before you. But you have a very tough first assignment, away to Brazil in Sao Paulo. Are you going to go for a victory there?
Well, obviously, I'm going to get a lot of training sessions under my belt before then, and hopefully we get the right team together and change the mindset of the players. I think everybody's a little bit demotivated at the moment. I think there's no confidence in the team. I think they don't know how to win games. They also don't know how to score goals. And I think if we get everything right before then, obviously this is a good preparation, but it's a long way to go still. We're going to play Brazil. I mean, this is not an easy game, but obviously we would like to go there with our tails up a little bit and put up a good showing and see where we are.
Gordon, you talk about playing with African flair. Do you think that we have that in our ranks, in the caliber of South African football, to go out and play this very attractive brand of football?
I certainly do believe that, Nick. If you only go back just to 2009, the Confederations Cup, just before the World Cup, I mean, we played against Spain. We went to 0-0 with Spain after 90 minutes, and then it ended up 3-2 during the course of the game. So, I mean, it took extra time for them to beat us. So what has changed since then? It's about, we can do it. We've proven it on many occasions. We are capable of doing it, but I just think the players need to start believing in themselves. They've got to understand the importance of putting on a Bafana jersey. I mean, nobody is guaranteed a place at any national team, whether it's rugby, cricket, hockey, tennis. You've got to go out there, you've got to sweat, and you've got to make sure that you're working your hardest off to get into that team, because there's so many players to select your team from. It's not like a club where you've got 20-odd players. This is a national team. We can select a team from anywhere, and all South Africans. So we need to apply our minds. We need to get ourselves about. We need to go and monitor players in Europe. There's many players playing in Europe, and there's many players playing in South Africa that haven't been spotted yet. So we need to really spread our wings out wide and far, and really each game we play, put out the best player out there, and also those players must know the importance and have passion when they go out there. When they put their shirts on, they should be getting goosebumps and knowing, I've got to perform well today, because if I don't perform well, maybe there's a chance of someone else getting into this team, and I want to stay in this team. So we've got to get that kind of attitude amongst the players.
Sounds like music to my ears. Let's hear what Bennett in the Vaal has to say. We have time for one or two calls. If you want to direct any questions to Gordon Igesund himself, give us a call, 0891 104 207. Bennett, please keep it brief.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Bennett.
Questions to Gordon for the post, but I feel that Gordon was giving a present challenge. I mean, 2 years to achieve what is such an insurmountable thing is already impossible. But I'm saying to him, I had him say that he's going to surround himself with the right people. I would also say to Aaron to that, Gordon, pick players that will play for you, that will deliver for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a nice little vote of confidence from Bennett there. Are you going to be doing it your own way, in the words of Frank Sinatra, Gordon?
Well, as I say, we need to work together in this. And it's not about the players wanting to do it for me. It's about the players wanting to do it for their country. I mean, the whole of South Africa must support Bafana. Bafana belongs to South Africa, and South Africa is Bafana. So why don't we all, just embrace this and just try, we'll do the right things from our side. I know that I'm going to have players out there that are going to want to play. And as I said before, I think the players were a little bit demotivated. I think some of them they just felt that they're going to be selected for the next game, regardless whether they come to camp, whether they don't come to camp, or whether they're playing well or not playing well. Those things have got to change. The players know they've got to perform at a high level at their club to get recognition, and then, of course, when they get the opportunity to play for the national team, they've got to really come to the party.
Oh, good. Now, I take my hat off to you. You've had so many years in the game, and you've had to deal with these personalities over the years. What's your secret? Do you measure an equal amount of carrot versus stick when it comes to dealing with so-called big players that maybe find it difficult taking orders from a varying amount of coaches?
I don't think it's a matter of taking orders, Nick. I just think it's about players being happy in what they're doing. You know, they've got to be respected. They've got to learn each other. They've got to learn and earn the respect of their teammates. You know, if you show favoritism one way or favoritism the other way, you know, players have been around a long time and they can pick this up. You've got to be honest. You've got to be fair and be true to yourself. And the players will know that. And when you talk to them, you've got to let them understand the situation, whatever you're requiring from them. But the most important thing is they must feel like they want to be there. They must feel like, you know, I want to be in the national team and I want to really go out there and play for my country. I really want us to succeed and go out there not with the attitude of, as I say, oh, you know, I'm going to be selected next week. And you know, there's a lot of debate at the moment where people are saying, I think, that players haven't got that ambition and they think they're doing the club a favour, the country a favour. I don't think that's the case at all, and I'd hate to believe that was the case because that type of player really and truly is not going to go far. I rather believe that the players at the moment have been playing without any confidence. You know, they've been scared to get into areas, they've been scared to express themselves. They get on the field not wanting to win the game, but rather not wanting to lose the game, you know, for various reasons. And I think we have to change that mindset. And as I said, I don't think any player, at any levels of football in this country, whether it's rugby, cricket, whatever the case may be, puts on a national team jersey and thinks he's doing us a favour. I think they are all very proud to put on their jersey. I just think the national team at the moment, as I said, have been very demoralised, maybe for whatever reason not getting results, maybe players playing out of position. You know, you're playing a right back, left back, or you're playing a centre forward, right wing, you know, and those aren't his positions, and that shouldn't happen. So I think at the moment, I just think that the spirit is down in the team, the confidence is down, you know, scoring goals and playing, they just lost all that confidence. That needs to be brought back because ability-wise, we have got players. We've proven that when we've played against top European sides in previous years. We're in top European countries, so there's absolutely no reason why we should believe that any player just thinks it's an automatic choice. Maybe one or two just need a little bit of kick in the behind, maybe, who knows. But I think everybody is proud to put on their jersey, and all they need to do now is get a bit of confidence, start winning games, and, you know, it's easy to talk and say, well, start winning games. We have to do that, and it's not going to be easy. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. As I said before, you know, we know the challenge that lay ahead, but I'm very, very certain, Nick, that if we all pull towards the same thing in all areas, all the supporters of South Africa, all the people of South Africa, the actual setup in Bafana, all the coaches in our league are pushing towards one thing, and that's making Bafana proud again, making them get the credibility that they deserve and start playing, and everybody feels involved. There's absolutely no reason why we can't go and do some good things.
Gordon, have you ever thought about going into politics? Because I hear you speak, and I want to believe you. You sound as though you have a brilliant plan lined up for Bafana. We're going to go to Haroon in Mafikeng in a moment or so. Just one or two people on the SMS line and also the Twitter feed. We've got Sean Belugi, tongue-in-cheek, asking Gordon Igesund why he isn't watching the tennis. Are you watching the tennis, Gordon, by the way?
I am watching the tennis, yeah. I'm watching the tennis. Federer's... They're actually both playing quite well at the moment. Murray is 4-3 at the moment, and Murray's 30 up.
Jeez, all right. Well, if things don't work out at Bafana, you can come and be a tennis commentator on SAFM.
No, you know what, Nick? As I said earlier, I'm not trying to sound like a politician, but really and truly speaking, you know, in all walks of life, if everybody really pulls towards something, and there's no backstab, you know, no jealousy and no nonsense, and everybody really sincerely wants the national team to do well, whether it's cricket, whether it's rugby, and I keep saying this, whether it's hockey, whether it's swimming, and we all pull in, and those players out there know the country's behind them. When they run into that field, they must get goosebumps, and they must know they want to go out there and just make this happen, you know. And we can do that. I mean, we are not an inferior race to any other country. We are exactly the same as them, and we've got a lot of talent in our country, and we've proven it over and over and over. We've got players playing the biggest leagues in the world. So why not, if we all pull towards the same thing? And I keep emphasizing this because I know the importance of this African Cup of Nations. We're playing at home. And I can remember in 1996 how this country was brought together with this Bafana team. And what has changed since then? You know, so we've got to try and get back to those days and be sincere and be honest and really, you know, and a lot, I mean, you know, in a football team, if you've got 40,000 people shouting for you, it makes you play maybe 10-15% better. You know, it just lifts you up, and we need this. We just need a good positive vibe for the next 2 years.
Oh, Gordon Igesund, halala. Let's go to Haroon in Mafikeng. Haroon, thanks for holding. Please keep it brief.
Okay, hi Gordon. Congratulations on your appointment, man.
Thank you very much.
If there's someone who could do it, I'm confident you're going to be able to do that, Gordon. My one observation I've made over the past few years, and I'd like your opinion on that with Bafana side, is that we're lacking killer strikers. Now, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but for the last few years, I always feel we'll build up properly, beautifully, but that killer end is not there, in my opinion. I just wanted your opinion on that.
Well, that's unfortunately been the story at the moment. We keep reading in the newspapers and the players keep hearing it. We haven't got any strikers. We can't score goals. If you keep telling somebody you can't score a goal, you're never going to score. Bring me a striker. Straight away that player's mentality changes. He believes that, I can't score goals. I can't do this and I can't do that. We can score goals. We are capable of scoring goals. If we play, in my opinion, and it's my humble opinion, we play more attacking football. I mean, you can't have a striker isolated up front there and you've got no wingers on the field, no one supporting him, and you're playing defensive and counter-attack football only. And if you play too slowly, you're always giving the opposition a chance to get behind the ball and defend properly. So you've got to play a little bit quicker. But I don't think it's got anything to do with whether we've got players who can score goals or can't score goals. We can score goals. We need to create more opportunities. We need to get more confidence in our strikers because and I keep saying it, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, my team last season scored 48 goals. Sundown scored 43. Pirates scored 40-odd. We're scoring goals. Teams are scoring goals. It's only if you keep telling you can't score a goal, you've got no confidence, bring me a striker, there's no strikers, find me somebody, I'll put anybody in who can. What do those players feel that are actually playing? They're going to feel, well, you keep saying I can't score goals, put someone else here, let them come and score the goals then. That's the kind of, and it's a negative vibe, we need to be more positive. You need to tell someone how great he is. You've got to remind them of what they've done in previous years or previous seasons or even in the present season, what's got them to be in the national team and follow that through because, if we play the right way, a lot of confidence, we can score goals.
Gordon, a question from my side. We've seen at Swallows how you've put your faith in veterans like Siyabonga Nomvete. Nomvete's been playing for Bafana as of late. Could you ever see Nomvete and Benny McCarthy lining up for Bafana in the next season?
Well, at the time when they were selected, or especially Nomvete when he was selected, I mean, there was no doubt that he was the right player to select at that moment. A top leading goal scorer in the league, player of the year, players player of the year. He was the form player at that moment. What's going to happen in the next couple of months, we don't know. I mean, is Nomvete going to be able to maintain that form? The time I was speaking about Benny McCarthy was maybe 4 months ago when he was on top of his game, scoring goals for Orlando Pirates. You've got to select the form players. You've got to select players that are doing it week in and week out in their clubs. You can't go on reputation and say, well, we know that he, maybe he can score goals because he did 2 years ago and he's got a name behind him and he's 21. We've got to go with the players that are in form for the moment at that particular situation, or whatever the criteria is, who you're playing, where you're playing, the size of the field. There's a whole lot of combinations you've got to put together. But who knows? I mean, everybody is able to play if they're in form and doing well and playing at a high level and consistently doing the job very, very well. Why should we overlook them?
Gordon, we've got John Bean in Kales River. He asks a question about the captaincy. Have you any idea who's the best man to lead Bafana at this point? You don't need to mention names.
Yeah, look, at the moment, I think there are a number of players who can lead the Bafana team. I'll give you an example. Morgan Gild, in my opinion, is a very, very strong leader. Just what I've seen from watching TV and situations. There's a player like Sangweni who always rises up at the last, when the things are down and his team is behind, he'll pop up and score a goal. He's leading from the front. So there are a couple of players, but you need to understand what a captain's role is. And what's important is that you work with the players and you see how they behave. They lead by example. They're first on the training field. They want to be there. They're encouraging the players around them. They're leading by example. And, I feel sorry to a certain extent for Steven Pienaar, because Steven Pienaar is a fantastic player. There's no doubt about that. He's played at the highest level. He's been doing so consistently now for the last 3 or 4 years. He was captain of the Bafana team when things were a little bit down, and maybe that might have been affecting his game. Maybe Pienaar doesn't want to be captain. Maybe he's saying, you know what, I'm not really the captain. I want to just go out there and concentrate on my game, and now I'm focusing on other things. So you need to know their personalities and speak to them and communicate. But there are a number of leaders. There are a number of leaders in our country.
Well, a final question I have for you from me, Gordon. You say you're not feeling the pressure. You say we can do this. Why are you so confident? You've really, you're making me believe we can do that. And I always knew Bafana is capable of this. But Yeah, what is your secret? Do you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror, and just make yourself believe these things as well?
No, I think, Nick, I believe it because I've been doing it consistently now for the last 20-odd years. So what should change? I mean, we just got to get out there and as I said earlier on, so there's not like a club where you've got like 20 players. I've got an opportunity now together with whoever to select a team and get input from everybody and select a team out there from the whole of South Africa. There's 16 teams in our Premier League. It's not that you only got 15 players to work with or 20 players. You can select a team from everybody in this league, in the whole country. Where you might even find a player playing the National First Division who can do a great job on the wing or wherever the case may be. So we need to spread our wings. The rest of it, I'm quite confident I can put into place. Getting the confidence in the players, getting them to believe in themselves, turning them around, making them, when a player puts on that jersey, I'll give you Dave Matibula, for example. Dave Matibula had a season or a couple of seasons with Kaizer Chiefs. No one quite got the best out of him, I don't think. And then he went to Black Aces and his career was just going down a little bit. I've got David Matibula, and in my opinion, I'm talking about in last season, David Matibula was without any doubt probably the best midfield player in the country by a long, long way. Every time that he put that shirt on and he went onto the field, he believed that he was the best player in the world. He believed that he could do anything with that ball. He believed he could score goals. He believed that he could make passes. And each week I saw him just flourishing and going and flying, and he was absolutely unbelievable. Now, there's a player that career was almost at the end. David Matibula is only 28, 29 years of age. So if we can get everybody believing and knowing that they are these type of players, I'm not going to try and make someone believe he can do something if he can't do it. I would never consider that. But I know that he had the capabilities, and I also know there's players in our national team are playing well below what they can play. They've got to lift their game up. They need to believe in it. They need to express themselves. And when they start seeing what I'm saying is true, when they start believing it and seeing it because they're actually doing it, they're going to get better and better and better. And they'll all be peaking at the right time. So let's hope we can do that. And as I said before, this is something, Nick, that's not going to be done by Gordon Igesund. This is going to be done together with a lot of people involved. First of all, with all the country behind those players, with my technical team giving me the support that I require, the input that I need. When I throw questions at them, they give me good, valuable input, and working with people and just making it happen. Because, as I said before, I just believe it can happen. People think, a lot of people are saying, yeah, but this is a difficult task. I know it's a difficult task. It's not an easy task. And in actual fact, I've got 2 years, and I may only have 6 months. Because if I don't get to the semi-final of the African Cup of Nations, there's a possibility I may not be here. But they might, depends on how they feel or how things are progressing. But as I said, right now we need to make this thing happen, and we can.
Yo, Gordon, you almost have me with tears in my eyes. You're making me believe, and I have a feeling that you're going to make the rest of South Africa believe as well. You got a real tough journey ahead of you, so we won't keep you any longer. You've been a great sport being on the show for so long. Enjoy the rest of the tennis, and we'll chat to you soon. Just know that SAFM Sports Special is behind you at the very least.
Nick, thanks very much for all your support. Thank you.
Gordon Igesund, the brand new Bafana coach. Really, 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 the man's like a politician because he makes you believe. He does. He does. He does.